So in this video, we'll take a closer look at these magnetic charging cables from Kuulaa, K-U-U-L-A-A, of course for the smarter life there. And this bundle I bought here is two cables at 2 meters and one cable at 1 meter. And it should have connectors or 3 connectors from micro USB, USB Type-C and also Lightning. And I already opened the second one I bought, and I so far kind of like this cable. So let's just take a look at the second one here and also kind of talk about where I plan to use these cables / magnetic plugs here. So nothing really to it. You kind of only get a little bag there. So get the magnetic end here that goes into your device you need charging. I believe you can also use data with this one here, but I believe it's only like USB 2.0 speed, so not really for data, but great for charging, or at least I hope so, but only really time will tell. So what you get here in this specific kit is two 2-meter cables. So exactly the same, actually kind of nice cable. Let's have a look at this one here. You can see there's a little K branding on the USB plug, so it's USB A here in one end. And of course you have the magnetic plug here in the other end with a little bit of Kuulaa branding on there and a charging icon on the other side. And do also have a little LED, but this LED is just on constantly when the cable is connected. So it doesn't really reflect if there is any devices connecting to the plug here. It's just reflect that there is data going to the plug. And it is of course a braided cable, kind of feels pretty good, like very flexible braided cable. Of course not the highest quality because this is not really that expensive of a cable, but definitely a lot better than a lot of the brand braided cables that I have tried throughout the year. So you do have a little bit of flexibility, which is also nice because this end here is magnetically attached and can quickly be ripped off. So nice that it has some kind of flexibility. And one of the first reasons why I wanted a cable like this was actually to connect to my Xbox controller. I still have the Xbox One controller, and that uses of course micro USB. I don't really have that much micro USB devices laying around anymore, so getting a micro USB cable just specifically to charge this Xbox controller is a little bit annoying. And also the micro USB cable, you kind of have to turn the correct orientation, and I always find it very hard to do, especially when I game with lower lighting conditions. So just to be able to plug it into a magnetic cable just makes so much sense for me. And this one actually also stays on there pretty well when you're actually moving your controller around. You see, just moving the cable a little bit around, it can of course be ripped off quite easily. And also if you remove the plug like so, it can still just pull out the micro USB magnetic plug that is supposed to stay inside your controller. So kind of remove the ease of use, of course, if you have to plug it in anyways. The whole idea, of course, is have that magnetic connection there. So if you remove it again, or when you remove this cable, just kind of squeeze it down like so, or pull it down or pull it up like so, not pull it straight ahead, because that can also kind of remove the little plug there that's stuck into your device. So yeah, just rip it off like so. When you rip it off, and you shouldn't really have any issues. But this is kind of the main reason why I wanted to get these cables, and I've had some cheaper ones before for some non-known brand, and these did work, but not really all that great. And when I tried to remove this little part from the controller, it kind of broke, and yeah, the little metal part that goes around it is ripped off. So yeah, very cheap and bad cable, not really that much flex, and the magnetic part here is not really held in that well. So I wanted something a little bit better, more flex to the cables, a little bit nicer connection here, magnetically connection, so it could actually hold its own, and something that I could just easily, connect the controllers whenever I needed to charge them. But actually, also seen some time ago that people connect them to like their mouse. For instance, this is a little dirty mouse, excuse me, but this is of course a Logitech gaming mouse, and these still use the micro USB plug, as you can see here. A little bit weird plug. It is kind of okay to stick in there because you can only kind of stick it in one way, but it's also very easy to try and do it the wrong way the first time, especially if you're not really charging your mouse that often. For a device like this, these cables will also do quite a good job. You can see here, fits perfectly inside here as well, and should also stay on there pretty okay when you're actually moving your mouse around. Shouldn't really, of course, pull the mouse too fast. If the cable is stuck to something, it will, of course, fall out, but that's actually not a bad thing, because that will also protect the plug inside the mouse. So yeah, for these devices here, definitely feel like these type of cables and plugs are fantastic as well. Also have it here on my super light, and you can see, even though it almost looked like there's not enough room for this plug here, it actually fits perfectly inside here. You can see it's almost like it was made for a device like this. Super easy to charge, and you can, yeah, without looking pretty much, just bring the mouse closer to the cable there and it will automatically snap in place. And speaking of the plugs, let's just have a look at what we actually get here. Like I said, we do get 3 of each. So we do get 3 of the USB Type-C plugs here. So just a standard USB Type-C plug. You get 3 of the micro USB here. So of course for micro USB devices. So you can kind of leave those in to your micro USB devices. And we also get Lightning. I have not tested Lightning because I kind of got rid of all my Lightning equipment. I'm so tired of the Lightning plug. But yeah, it also included, and I believe it should be Wi-Fi certified, but I'm not 100% sure. I can't really test it. Let's just try my Logitech Master. This is the Master 3, and see if we can actually plug this one in here, and if there's enough room for the cable as well. So of course the Logitech Master 3 uses USB Type-C, and you can see it does have a nice grip onto the USB Type-C plug. You can still pull it out, but it's not as easy. And let's see if we can actually connect it. And you can see perfectly, it does stick out quite a bit from the mouse there. So that's a little bit annoying, but yeah, I actually think this is the way I will go forward, because this is just so much easier to connect when you just quickly want to connect your mouse. Of course, you can have the cable lined there on your table and just bring the mouse close and it will kind of snap into place. I really like that. And also one of the reasons why I want to get these cables, because I plan to use this tablet here, or set this tablet up on my wall inside my living room, just to run Home Assistant, all my smart devices from this tablet, so it will always be on. I can get weather information, so I can turn off and off my lighting and control my heating and so on throughout my home. Also my cameras and so on, I can control from this device here. But still, it would be nice to be able to remove it from the wall easily. And that's also where this kind of comes in place. So I can have the whole tablet magnetically held in place inside on my wall. So you can just pull the tablet, and again, this cable here will just keep the tablet charged. And when I pull everything off, the cable will also be pulled off. So it is always charging, and it is very easy to just plug it back in. So that's also another scenario where I feel like this will be an awesome addition. Also, if you have headphones like these, again, a little bit dirty, I have to apologize. I do use this every day. So again, USB Type-C charging. And if you have the same kind of plug on your mouse and also on your headphones, it's so much easier. Of course, just plug in the USB Type-C plug there, plug it in place, and magnetically charge your headphones. So you don't really need to plug in a cable, and you can use the same cable that you use to charge your mice, which is always a little bit unfortunate with Logitech devices on the G series of products. Headphones uses USB Type-C, mice still uses that micro USB plug. So convenient that you can just have the same cable through all of the devices. So yeah, I kind of have high hopes for this cable here. Feels kind of nice. I hope it will last, and of course time will only tell. This is just a first impression, a first look at these cables here. Let's just actually plug one in so you can just kind of see that light there. So you can see always the little light is on, which is one of the things that I'm kind of disliking about this cable. So if you have it plugged in all the time, there will always be a little bit of a light shining there. So a little bit annoying. Would have been nice if you were connected to a device, then the light will come on so you know you are actually charging that device. But yeah, at least you know there is power going to the cable. But you can see, just connect it and you will start charging immediately. Very nice. And you can do that with, of course, all your devices using the exact same cable. Starts charging immediately. And Xbox controller doesn't have a charge status icon, but you do get a little bit of vibration when you connect it. So it starts charging as soon as I connect it to my controller there. And again, use the same cable here with a different device. Starts charging immediately. So fantastic. I really like this system, and I'll probably end up buying more of these if they end up holding through time. Like I said, the other cheap one I tried, which was a lot cheaper, and also bought these several years back. So before like this kind of technology actually matured, you can see the plug just kind of pulled out there from the frame. I won't really be using it in my daily smartphones or in my daily tablets. I don't really mind plugging those in, also because you are kind of losing a little bit if you want to use fast charging on your smartphone, of course. These only support, I believe, up to 2 amp charging. I don't believe they support quick charge, maybe quick charge 3, but definitely not 45 watts like the S22 can handle, and like more expensive tablets also can handle a lot faster charging, as well as laptops. But for like peripherals like this, like mice, controllers, headphones, I feel like these cables or these times of plug there is definitely fantastic. Maybe even a lower end tablet there, just charging it with like 2 amp of power should be plenty to keep this up and running 24/7. So yeah, first impressions, definitely highly recommend these. Great cables, relatively inexpensive, and I looked at a lot of cables on Amazon, and these seem to be among the better ones out there. Of course, I will share some link down in the description below if you want to pick these one up yourself. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope to see you again in the future one. Until then, take care.